class, we will do traditional yoga poses and we'll incorporate some planking and other strengthening moves. It flows from pose to pose like a traditional yoga flow class. However, we are going to be working on a timer, so we will be in each pose for a minute, and it is a 26-minute class, so we have 26 different poses. We're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose at the back of the mat. So go ahead and bring your big toes to touch. Walk your knees out towards the edges of the mat, and then bring your hips back to sit on your heels. I'm going to get our timer started, and I'm going to join you in that child's pose. So taking the first moments in this pose for some nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, fill up completely. And an open mouth, exhale, let it go. Continue taking several more rounds of cleansing breaths. And if you're looking for a little bit of movement in this child's pose, you can walk your hands over to the right, keeping that left hip and heel connected. And then you can walk your hands over towards the left, again, keeping the connection between the right hip and the right heel. Walk your hands through center, come up into a tabletop, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, lift your gaze, and exhale, cat pose, press the earth away as you tuck around and curl. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat pose. Flowing with your breath, using the entirety of the inhale to come into cow pose, and then emptying out completely at cat and cat pose. Imagine pulling your palms back and your knees forward as you come into that cow. And then come back into a tabletop, and we'll step back into a high plank pose. So again, shoulders over wrists, all 10 fingers spread wide, like you're corkscrewing those palms into the mat to open your shoulders, your collarbones. Hug your butt, press through your heels towards the wall behind you. And then gently begin to tap right palm to left shoulder, left palm to right shoulder. And just continuing here. If you find yourself shifting from side to side, really pull your core in. Hug your outer glutes in. And if you're still shifting from side to side, you can step your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart to provide some stability. Or you can always hold a high plank here if the shoulder taps just aren't for you today. All right, come back into a tabletop, and I'm going to turn to face you. You're going to extend your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left, hovering the shoulder. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, thread and hover. Warming into the obliques here, the core a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen, T-spine rotation. And then exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left, coming to rest on the right shoulder and the right temple. You can half bind with that left hand at the right hip crease if that feels good, peeling open the left shoulder. Spiraling the chest up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and come back into that tabletop. And we're going to come into a gate pose, extending the left leg out. Bring your arms up like a T. Relax your shoulders down into their sockets. And then inhale, gate pose. Walk the left fingertips down the left leg. Inhale back to that T and exhale, side plank variation. Extending the left fingertips towards the front of the mat as you press through the pinky edge of the left foot towards the back of the mat. Engage that left side body. Inhale, gate pose. And exhale, side plank variation. Finding even more length along the left side body. Inhale back up to that T pose. Exhale, palms find the mat. Step back to a high plank. Exhale, draw your hips back towards your heels. And inhale, back to high plank. Exhale, hips back towards heels. And inhale, high plank. Exhale. And inhale. You can always come into a child's pose plank flow here if that's better for you. This is a lot of shoulder and leg strength. I can feel it into my quads. So the knees are hovering, pressing the palms into the mat. Inhale, plank. Exhale, hover. And come back into a tabletop. We're going to thread on the opposite side. So grounding the right hand. Extend the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Thread and hover the left shoulder just above the mat. Use that core. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, open. And this time as we exhale, we're going to bring the left shoulder to the mat, the left temple, and you can bind those left or right fingertips rather at the left hip crease, peeling open. Chest spiraling up towards the ceiling, guiding that right shoulder down into its socket, away from your ear. Come back up into that tabletop and preparing for gate pose. Extend the right leg out. Extend the arms out like a T. And gate pose. Reaching those left fingertips up towards the ceiling, opening up that entire left side body. Inhale, center. And then exhale, switch it out. Modified side plank here. So drawing that hand back so that the chest opens. And then use those muscles along the right side body to lift you back up into gate pose. So drawing that tailbone down towards the mat. Back to that modified side plank. Really finding as much length as you can along that right side body. And then inhale, back through center. Come back into your tabletop. And we're going to come into a forearm plank here. So forearms on the mat. Arms like railroad tracks here. Shoulders over wrists. Hug your butt, squeeze your butt, press through your heels. You can hold here, or if you'd like to add in some hip dips, we're going to dip right hip to the mat. Use your core to come up through center. Dip your left hip to the mat. Use your core to come up into center. Ooh, got some creaks and cracks there. Come back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back. Come up to high plank. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. First time in downward facing dog today. Taking some nice deep pedals. Bending one knee as the opposite heel finds the mat. And then switching it out. and coming into stillness. Ground your left foot. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Tighter pose, hollowing out the belly. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Tighter pose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Tighter pose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, tiger pose. Step the right foot between the hands. Surrender the left knee down. And inhale, crescent lunge. Lengthening along the side body. Pinkies slightly turned in towards one another. Thumbs out for that external rotation. Inhale and exhale, cactus arms. Press your hips forward. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Moving with your own breath. Back to the mat. We're going to come through a high plank into a downward facing dog on an exhale. And just moving your hips from side to side if that feels good, or continuing to take those pedals, bending one knee and the other. Continuing to awaken the backside body here. Then grounding both feet, grounding the right foot. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose. Inhale, lengthen, press the mat forward and away from you. Exhale, knee to nose, hollow the belly, tiger pose. Step the left foot between the hands. Surrender the right knee down and inhale, crescent lunge. Stacking your head above your shoulders, above your hips. Press the sole of that left foot into the mat and imagine dragging it back. So you're dragging that left hip back, right hip forward. And on your next exhale, bring your hands down to shoulder height, palms facing the mat. Take an inhale. And exhale, roll your shoulder blades together so the elbows come back, squeeze behind you. Inhale. And then exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach forward as you stack your head over your hips. And exhale, press forward and squeeze. Inhale. And windmill the palms to the mat. Come through high plank. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps to the outside of the right hand. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Exhale, right hand finds the mat. Left foot, or right foot back to left, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, use your core. Step that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Peel open, simple twist. Exhale, palm finds the mat. Right foot finds the left. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Exhale, palm finds the mat. Right foot back to plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, warrior two. Step the right foot between the hands. Spin the back foot flat. Heel to arch alignment. Right heel intersects the left arch. Then I want you to imagine that you're pulling your mat together right heel towards the left arch towards the right heel. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. We're going to flow here. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. So really working into our core here as we flow from reverse to extended side angle. Windmill the palms to the mat. Step back to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot to the outside of the left hand. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Lift the backs of your hips. Exhale, left hand finds the mat. Left foot meets right. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot, left hand. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Exhale, palm to the mat. Plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, use your core. Bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Exhale, palm finds the mat. Plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it between the hands. Spin the back foot flat and inhale, rise, warrior two. So again, head over shoulders, over hips, tailbone slightly tucked under, pressing through the pinky edge of each foot while maintaining that tension between the feet, really working into the inner thighs. Inhale, reverse warrior, swim it back. Exhale, extended side angle. So those legs stay exactly the same and the movement is all generated in the core. Inhale, peaceful warrior or reverse warrior, whatever you like to call it. Exhale, extended side angle. Bring that elbow to the inside of the left knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the palms. Step back through plank, through downward facing dog, and we're going to walk our feet through and come into a boat pose. So sits bones, finding the mat, bringing those knees into that tabletop. You can hold on behind your hips, or behind your thighs rather. Loop your shoulders down and back into their sockets. And then once you have that leg, that lift up and out of your hips, we're going to extend those arms, shoulder height. Breathe. And if it's in your practice to straighten your legs, you can straighten into your legs, keeping that chest lifting up towards the ceiling. You're really shaking, guys, and shaking's okay. We're just working on getting stronger. And some days those legs might be super straight, and some days they might be bent. So it just depends. All right, we're going to slowly come down onto our back for a little bridge flow. So rolling down onto your back, squeezing those knees in towards one another. Press through all four corners of your heels as you exhale. Squeeze your glutes into that bridge. And then inhale, find that C in your spine as you slowly roll down, one vertebra at a time. Exhale, press into all four corners of the feet. Lift your hips. And inhale. Slowly lower. Exhale. Squeeze. Hug everything into the midline. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press into the feet. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lower. All right, cross your ankles, hug your knees into your chest. We're going to rock and roll the length of our spine, back up into a plank, and we're going to flow through vinyasas for this minute. So inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. You can always do this from your knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave your body forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave it forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Oh, perfect timing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come into pigeon on the right. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, half pigeon. So the right knee behind the right hand. And we're more concerned here with our hips facing the short edge forward than we are with that front knee being parallel to the mat. You can see my knee has a pretty significant bend in it. And then a trick I like to do is to take a little peek back behind my right shoulder. Make sure that that left leg is nice and straight. And then that also guides the right hip back, the left hip forward. And then if it's in your practice, you can crawl yourself forward into that sleeping pigeon pose. And I've said this before, I don't know why it's called sleeping, because sleeping in my mind seems like something that requires no effort, and this does require some effort. It requires some mental toughness. All right, come back up to your hands, back to plank, downward facing dog, and this time on the left. Left leg lifts, half pigeon, bringing the knee behind the wrist, squaring the hips to the front of the mat, taking that peek back behind the left shoulder, and then, if you're ready, crawling yourself into that sleeping pigeon. So all the while I'm in this pose, I'm thinking about guiding my right hip forward, my left hip back, flexing those left toes back towards my knee. And then when you're ready, come back up to your palms, and we're going to make our way into our final downward facing dog. So yes, we will be here for the full 60 seconds. Take a nice deep bend in your knees. Bring your belly towards your thighs, creating a whole lot of length along the upper side body, and then straightening into those legs and maintaining that length in the upper body. So you can have a bend in your knees the entire time. Your heels certainly don't need to touch the ground. Settling into your breath. Knowing that child's pose is always an option for you, but also knowing that you're strong and that you can stay in this downward facing dog for 60 seconds. Just choosing what the best option is for you at the moment. Right, go ahead and come back into a seat. Roll all the way down onto your back. Half wind pose on the right, so draw your right knee into your chest, and then guide that right knee out and around the rib cage, in towards your shoulder. There are people home today, so I'm sure you hear the monkey noises in my house. Use your left hand to gently guide your right knee across as your right arm extends out to the side. But it's breathing through the noise, working despite the noise, right? That is the yoga practice. Staying present when there's many distractions all around us. And there never aren't distractions, right? There never isn't something else going on. So that's the mindset, the frame of mind that we need to find. Gently come back onto your back. And we're going to switch it out. Left knee hugs in, right leg extends. Keep that right leg nice and active. active and engaged by flexing those toes back towards the knee, that dorsiflexion, which is so important in walking and running and everything that we do. And then go ahead and extend the left arm out to the side and use the right hand to gently guide the left knee towards the other side of the mat. I'm resting on my left big toe, and then keeping your core active and engaged by imagine guiding your belly button up towards the ceiling. And then your gaze can be up towards the ceiling or over towards that left hand. And just breathe here. And then come onto your back, hug your knees in, maybe rock side to side, and then we're going to come into our last pose, which is a dead bugs pose. So I like to grab onto or find the pinky edge of my foot with that same hand, and then that way my knees or my elbows can come in and open up my knees nice and wide. And then tailbone stays on the mat, right? We're not like up in the air. I mean, now that would be a dead bug, but we're a dead bug that's already stiff, right? So it's flat on the mat. The feet are pressing up towards the ceiling. The hands are drawing the feet and the knees down towards the mat. And it's just such a good, yummy opener for the inner thighs and the hips. And that is the end, my friends. Hug your knees in towards your chest and come into Shavasana, where we will end our practice. So if you have extra time, please, please hang out in this Shavasana for as long as you can. And if not, as soon as you're ready, you can just begin to reawaken your body. I appreciate you practicing with me. We have a new yoga video every Friday. Sometimes it's a sculpt, sometimes it's a vinyasa flow, sometimes it's a deep stretch. And then every Monday is a beginner-friendly, generally senior citizen-friendly class that usually involves strength and some low-impact cardio, but can definitely be ramped up to meet anyone, any level. And then on Tuesdays, we do a HIIT or advanced strength class. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications of all of those videos and not miss out on anything. And if you like this video, please like it and leave me a message in the comments below. Until we see each other next time,